Time can kill your football dreams. Here's how.
I used to think that the biggest challenge in becoming a pro footballer was talent, or the perfect training plan, or even connections. But over time, I realized something far more dangerous was working against me: time. Not because I didn't have it, but because I wasn't using it right. Between school, training, social life, and everything else, the days just seemed to disappear. And before I knew it, weeks had passed where I hadn't made the progress that I knew that I was capable of. But here's the truth most people ignore. You don't need more time, you need to maximize the time that you already have. In today's video, I'll show you 7 practical ways how you can do exactly that, so you can improve faster, train smarter, and give yourself the best possible chance of making your football dream a reality. Let's begin. Number 1, prioritize like a pro. We all say that we want to become better, but if you had a look at your calendar, would you say that your calendar agree with your dreams? The truth is, you can't do everything, not all at once. So the first step is getting brutally honest with yourself. What are you actually spending your time on? Are you scrolling TikTok for 3 hours a day, but only training for 30 minutes? Are you saying yes to everything, but leaving your own goals for later? I'm not saying I've been perfect with my priorities throughout my own career, far from it, but on the majority of occasions, I've known that deep down, I know what I truly want, and therefore taken my decisions accordingly, and that have ultimately helped me make the progress that I've made in my career so far. Of course, there will be distractions along the way with things and people pulling you in all different kinds of directions, and sometimes you will, and you should say yes to them as well, but you have to find that balance because your priorities will dictate your progress, so make sure to set them with intention. Number 2, the path of least resistance. Willpower is unreliable, discipline sometimes runs out, but systems last. One of the biggest time hacks I've discovered myself was a simple idea that one of my mentors taught me a few years ago, which is, if you make the right choice, the easy choice, you will make it every time. That's called designing the path of least resistance. Let me give an example. I hate drinking lukewarm water, but I know that hydration is key for both performance and recovery. So instead of forcing myself to drink that lukewarm water when I wake up in the morning, I just put a bottle of water in the fridge before I go to bed every night. Now, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I can do is go grab some ice cold water. Another thing I can struggle with is scrolling through TikTok or Instagram before bed, which delays my bedtime, which gives me less sleep, and because of that, a worse recovery. One thing I noticed that helps a lot is to put my phone further away from my bed, over on my desk, and then I go to bed. This makes my subconscious weigh the effort of getting up to go get the phone against staying in bed, and our brains like the easy option, so that usually means that I stay in bed and I sleep earlier. Once you've built a few of these automatic routines, you can start stacking them one after another, and that is called habit stacking. So your morning routine could look something like this. You get up first thing in the morning to drink some water, then you get in the shower to have a cold shower, then you have a quick weigh-in to be able to track your progress. You then go out for a quick morning walk to get some sunlight and to start moving your body. This way, each powerful habit flows into the next one, so you don't really have to think about it. This in turn builds momentum. And speaking of momentum, number 3, build momentum early. Have you ever noticed how one productive action in the morning can change the feel of the entire day? You start with one win and then suddenly you just want to keep on winning. That is momentum. And on the flip side, if you snooze your alarm, you skip your breakfast, you lay around in bed scrolling your phone, and by the time it's 1 p.m., your day already just feels off. This is actually one of the biggest hacks for me personally, because when I start my day off with getting that first glass of water and getting outside, I start to build momentum. Not anything huge, but big enough to get me going for the day and make me more motivated to take on all the tasks that I have in front of me. And that can be to go train or do whatever it is that I have to do. The lesson to remember is to start small, but start strong. The first decision of the day can be a domino that knocks over everything else. Number 4, fuel to perform. Here's something people never talk about enough. Procrastination isn't always a mindset problem. Sometimes it can be a body problem. You're not lazy, you're underfueled. You're not unmotivated, you're sleep deprived. You're not undisciplined, you're burnt out. If your brain doesn't have enough nutrients, you're not well hydrated enough, or you haven't rested enough, how do you expect to make sharp decisions? Now that I'm aware of this, I value proper recovery habits even more than before. And sometimes when there have been a period of higher stress or when I have slacked off with my recovery habits, I notice that. Not only my performance, but in how likely I actually am to get things done. So the simplest time hack of all, take care of your body. Because a well-rested, properly fueled brain is 10 times more productive. Number 5, lower the bar. Here's a trap that many players often fall into. You think, I don't have time for a full training session, so you do nothing. But what if you did 10 minutes or 5? You'd be surprised at how much progress you can make in tiny windows. For example, after many team training sessions, I felt that I wanted to get some extra work done. So before the session, I usually said to myself, today I will go for 20 minutes of finishing after team training. But then, when the training actually finished, and maybe it was a harder training session than I expected, or I felt more tired than usual, then the thoughts start creeping in. Maybe I can skip it today and do it tomorrow instead, and sometimes that is the right move. But instead of setting the bar too high with those 20 minutes of training, what instead if I lowered that to 10 minutes or just 5 minutes? That would definitely not be a full session, but still a few minutes of high quality work. And guess what? Over 4 team sessions, that would be 40 minutes of extra repetitions, time that you thought you didn't have. So lower that bar, do something, because something done consistently adds up more than perfection done never. Number 6, break the chain. We all have bad mornings, we all have off days, but the danger isn't that bad day, it's the spiral that comes after. Maybe you sleep in and you start to feel guilty about it. And now you skip your workout because you're tired and then you think, fuck it, and you eat some junk food. But when you've done that, you get demotivated because you slacked off and then it starts over on repeat. I've definitely had periods like this throughout my own career, but the key here is not to avoid the bad days because they will come. It's a question of when rather than if, but the key is to break that chain as fast as possible. But how do you do that? With a small and easy win. When you notice that this starts to happen, stop everything you're doing and go outside for a 10-minute walk. Drink a glass of water. Clean your desk, send that one message that you've been putting off, or perhaps get in a short ball mastery session. Do something small, break that negative momentum, break the chain. Momentum works both ways, so if you start to notice that your day is going downhill, try to stop it before it crashes. Number 7, time doesn't make you better. This is the reminder that ties it all together. It's not the hours you spend, it's how you spend the hours. There are players who train 5 hours a day and they never improve. And then there are players who train 1 focused hour a day and they level up massively. What's the difference between the two? Intent, focus, quality, and direction. Also, now don't forget, there will be bad days. You will lose motivation, you will have bad sessions. But don't let one bad session or one bad day turn into a bad week. Don't chase perfection, because a perfectionist mindset destroys more careers than talent ever will. If you want to learn more about how perfectionism can kill your football journey, along with 6 other common mistakes that players often make, you can watch this video next. That video will help you avoid traps that waste time and ruin progress. But that's all for this time. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.